continues to grow, it'll be a question of whether or not there's enough water for everybody. And certainly another source of water would be the effluent that we have currently out at the two plants. And right now we have about 39,000 acre-feet of water available to us from the Brazos River Authority. It's really not our water, it belongs to Water Control and Improvement District number 1, but it's allocated to us. And by effectively using the effluent, that could create roughly the equivalent of another 14,000 acre-feet of water, which could allow for the good thing for the future of Killeen. But water reuse is one issue that we're actively working on. Another water issue is water treatment capacity. Currently, we get the water that you drink and flush your toilets with, shower with, from Water Control and Improvement District number 1. Their water treatment plant is on Lake Belton. It's some 100 million gallon capacity per day as far as treatment. We're allocated currently 32 million gallons from that plant. And on the very hottest days in the summer when you're watering your yards the most, we at some point will reach a situation, we almost reached it last year, where we're going to be using 85% of our capacity, which state law requires us then to have to start planning for the future. Well, we've already started planning for the future. There's a couple other trigger points, and that is the total number of water connections that we have in the city. We're getting close to needing a waiver from the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality for that. But these are issues where we as your elected representatives need to come up with a plan so that there'll be sufficient treated water in the future. We're looking basically at 3 alternatives. One is through Water Control and Improvement District number 1, which would be a new plant on Stillhouse Lake. It's important that, and it's been part of our master plan for some time, to have another intake point for water from Water Control and Improvement District 1 on the south side. Right now, all the water that comes in from Lake Belton basically comes in big pipes. Some of these are really big, like 42 inches in diameter, that come from Lake Belton, and they all kind of dump on the north side of town, where the water has to be pumped from north to south, which creates the need for a lot of energy. A lot of electricity is used to pump water within our distribution system. If we could get a south intake point, it's certainly going to reduce some of those operating costs for the city. So it's been on our master plan for some time. WCID number 1 has some other partners to go along with the City of Killeen in coming up with a regional plant, and that certainly is a viable alternative that we're looking at. The other 2 main sources of treated water for us would be through West Bell Water District and through the Kempner Water District. Both of those entities have water treatment plants on Stillhouse Lake, and they would both have to increase their capacity, where we would have to, in essence, pay them a considerable amount of money. I'm talking about figures in the range of $25 to $30 million. I think really like $25 million to $32 million, where we would have to issue bonds and give them money up front, and then buy water from them at certain rates. And so we have to look at all these alternatives, and we've hired an engineer to help us, and we've hired rate study people and financial people, and we're evaluating these alternatives. We feel some sense of urgency because interest rates for the issuance of bonds are at a record low, close to a record low now, and if they're going anywhere, it's going to be up. So we feel some sense of urgency to do that. If we go with WCID number 1, we will not have to issue bonds. They will issue the bonds, but the other 2 alternatives would require us to issue the bonds, so we would have additional debt service requirements on our enterprise fund, the water and sewer fund. So that's kind of a problem. We've had some problems for some time with the South Sewage Treatment Plant with regard to its ability to handle the fog, the oil and grease problem, fats, oils, and grease problem in our sewage that they treat. We have a contract with them that says that we will have a certain limitation on the solids, the certain levels of pollutants in the sewage that they treat. And we have not been always meeting those requirements. That's put a tremendous stress on their plant. They've not been able to accommodate that, and they've had to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on repairs. So we're looking at partnering with them on a fix to that plant. We're the sole users of that plant. So it's going to, I think, take an upgrade. We can sit and complain about the past, and who shot John and why it didn't work like it should. But that's not going to be helpful. What we need to do is figure out what the solution is and fix it. And we're progressing along those lines. So those are the three issues that we really have not got final solutions on, that we're working diligently on. In the Community Development Block Grant,